And joining us to take the conversation further is Stephen Okwori, a security and crime management consultant. He joins us virtually. Hello, Stephen. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
All right, let's start with this. What's the situation in Abuja currently?
Yeah, currently Abuja is calm. Everybody is going about their lawful business with the assurance from the security agencies that they are taking charge of any possibility of breakdown of law and order or any attack from anywhere. So the citizens in Abuja are going about their lawful businesses and so on.
All right, apart from an assurance, I do not know, do you think that is enough? Shouldn't there be more? I mean, you just give an assurance, and is that enough?
Yes, from what is happening at the moment, the police and the other security agencies have beefed up security within the FCT. They are now taking charge of places that are very suspicious. And before now, there have been clearance operations by the military and the police, especially around the Buhari, the Kuje, and the Abaji axis. There have been clearance operations on the hideouts of terrorists within the forest around there. And outside that, there have been some patrols within the FCT. Like yesterday, I saw.
Okay, so go ahead. If you can hear me, Mr. Okwori, do go ahead. You were talking about what you saw yesterday or what happened yesterday. If you can hear me, go ahead, please. All right, I guess that's connection issue right there, the network, of course. And we've been speaking with Stephen Okwori, security and crime management consultant. He's talking to us about the situation in Abuja, bringing us up to speed with the security situation in the state, and also talking to us about what the security agencies are doing. Please take it up from there if you can hear me, sir.
Okay, so, first and foremost, I want to say that the terror alert, security alert from the US and the UK High Commission. First of all, we have to look out for what is their objective, what is their aim in trying to see how to bring that information to public knowledge. First and foremost, it was addressed to their own citizens and their staff, before the Nigerian public got to know about it. Okay, now, if they had advised their own citizens and their staff to be careful, if these attacks happen, who will eventually be the victims? It is the Nigerian citizens, So that is why I am the opinion that they would have shared the intelligence with the Nigerian security agencies to see how to how to go about it.
Let me come in there. Before you came on board, we spoke with Kevin Fineface, and for him, he's of the opinion that there is a possibility that they probably shared this intelligence with maybe the security agencies or the Nigerian government, and they probably didn't take it seriously. Or he's also of the opinion that there is that likelihood that the Nigerian government might just dismiss it if it's shared with them, and so they took the bull by the horn by talking to their own people, the ones that concern them first before any other person. What do you think?
Yes, I like the word that the first person that you mentioned his name used, probability.
Yes.
That it was probable that they shared. But we got to hear from the head of the Internal Security Agency, which happens to be the IGP, the Nigerian police. He said that they didn't share it with him. He said it in somewhere around the Benin or so, that they did not share the intelligence with them, and that he now said there openly that the alert was fake, But I don't want to believe that the alert was fake, if you ask me, because the US before now, after the attack with about the 9/11 attack, the terror attack on 9/11, they became the country that is in the forefront of trying to see how to fight terrorism globally, So when such information about terror attacks or the likelihood of a terror attack comes from such country, it's not something that we should take lightly, So I feel that the Nigerian security agencies would have collaborated with them to see the extent of the intelligence, which if it's an actionable intelligence, where they will need swift response to such incidents or attacks, So just the way the Nigerian police IGP said, he said it wasn't shared, and I want to go alongside with him that it wasn't shared with them.
All right. Well, away from that now, what's the environment, the business environment like in Abuja? Are businesses going about, their operations, or what's happening?
Yeah, no, not really. Before now, it was in the news that the Jabi mall, which is a very popular mall and very huge and large mall within the FCT, they shut down their businesses, and all that. And you know that as huge or as big as the mall is, there are a lot of shops and offices within the mall, so they had to close down for a while and all that for a couple of days. And there are some other businesses. Beyond that, Nigerians were panicked initially, like for instance, churches yesterday, quite a number of people did not go, because of the fear, and even people are very, very skeptical. They take their time to go to certain places, and all that. So it is affecting economic activities, if you ask me.
Okay, it's affecting economic activities. So what should we be doing moving forward now?
As citizens or as security agencies?
Well, as citizens, basically, before we get to the security agencies and then the government.
Okay, as citizens, we should be alert mentally. We have to be observant, of our environment, and we have to be, mentally alert, so that we'll be conscious of whatever is happening around our environment or wherever we go and all that. I think that one will help us a lot. Even as citizens as well, we need to have security emergency numbers on our phones. It's very important at this point in time. In the event where you see something and you need to communicate to the relevant security agencies, how do you get to them? You must have to go get to them through our mobile phones, to tell them what you have seen, what is suspicious, and the location where you are, and all that. So it's important for citizens to have emergency security numbers on our phones. And they are usually posted either on the television or on the print media, or they are announced on via radio, So it's not something that you begin to rely on security numbers on the social media, because most of these numbers are not correct. So it's important that we listen to security emergency numbers via radio, television, or in the print newspapers.
All right, coming down to government and, the issue of boosting security, do you think government is doing enough in that regard? I know you mentioned that earlier, but do you think that is enough, looking at the weight of this particular security alert? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I was saying, do you think government is doing enough in the area of boosting security? I know you've talked about that, but, looking at the weight of the alert that was given, do you think what government is doing is enough?
First of all, I want to advise government and the regular relevant security agencies that the information coming from the U.S. Embassy and the other embassies and high commissions, it is important for them to take the alerts as real, and hope that they are false. First of all, they have to take it to be something real.
Okay, I thought you still wanted to say something. All right. Well, can you hear me, please? All right. Okay, I guess that's some connection issue right there again. Well, we'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Mr. Fineface, beg your pardon. Mr. Stephen, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, now that you're back, just before we go on that break, I think we should just get your final thoughts now. Isn't this a bold move for suspected, terror cells to try and attack the seat of power? What does this indicate? I mean, should there be elements of truth in this alert?
Is it before an information gets to intelligence, it's first of all comes as an information. So it goes through a process, it's been analyzed, and analyzed by professionals and all that before it gets to intelligence. When it gets to intelligence, then at that point, you will now begin to look at it, whether it's an actionable intelligence or a non-actionable intelligence. An actionable intelligence is the one that needs swift response, you know, and all that. And the other way is when they begin to take their time to look at it and to monitor events, you know, as they unfold. But in this case, we don't know which is which, you know. The U.S. Embassy told us where they will take these attacks are responsible to be carried out: churches, public places, offices, and all that. But how and when is what we don't know. So by the time they begin to look at the intelligence, they will begin to know how they want to carry out these attacks and when they want to carry out these attacks. But at this point that we are, we don't know when and how they will carry out the intelligence. So it's for professionals, security professionals, to really look at and begin to look at how possible the events or the incidents are being masterminded and all that, to see how it is being carried out.
All right, let's have your final thoughts.
My final thought is for our security agencies to be proactive. They need to beef up security the more, you know, because I want to take us to the crime triangle, where you have the reward, opportunity, and a target. You know, in this instance, the security agencies need to see that the opportunity for these criminal elements to carry out these attacks is not possible. You know, because by the time they carry out these attacks, it means that the opportunity has been given to them. You know, and when they succeed, is the reward. You know, so the security agencies need to see that the opportunity to carry out these attacks does not come to them or does not avail to them at all. So that's my advice for our security agencies, and they need to be vigilant. Vigilance is being to carefully look out for possible dangers. You know, so they need to be very proactive in the event where they will not be carried away.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen Okwori, Security and Crime Management Consultant. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, after the break, cryptocurrency exchanges have expanded, providing platforms that allow customers to trade cryptocurrencies for other assets, including conventional currency and other digital currencies. However, fraudulence persists in this space. Well, this will be our talking point. We'll return from this time out. Stay with us.